ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, TheScoreEsports.com, Mountain Dew, and ESEA.
All right, guys, thanks, and we are back. Thanks very much for waiting, and we are indeed getting right into the match now. Cloud9 versus Immortals. It's already live again with the pistol round, so Moses, take us into things.
Yeah, despite all of Blue's effort, we do have a live match on our hands. It is going to be a switch-up, so it does look like they're going to go down drop at some point, but it's a little bit slower. Stewie, of course, has the confidence to take these fights, but here comes that hit delayed down drop and still not able to handle it. Nothing is the first to fall. Still pressuring for it. There's a nice shot by Stewie, but he's got to do so much more, and Zeus already has the angles. Down into a 2-on-2, though. Cbble making a huge hero play, but that nade cleans him out.
Now it's just Shroud hiding behind the rock at this point, but he does spot the head of Zeus. Zeus just leaving himself out in the open there. Unawares, of course, to himself, but now Shroud, one more to go, and it's going to be against Henny. You can hear him moving his way through the site connector over towards A, but we'll approach him just a little bit too slowly, and he'll escape onto the ace. However, Henny, he's going to play aggressively inside, but he misses his opportunity to take down Shroud. When he opens up the crawl space, now it's just a game at this point for Henny. He's even going to crawl back through the site connector again and now head over to the B site.
This is all mind games, and this is essentially, I mean, even Shroud just being so confident with his knife out, probably hearing some footsteps, but playing chicken, essentially, seeing who blinks first. And actually, Shroud thinks it's in the site, so he has a second there where he doesn't quite have the angle. Deals a good amount of damage onto Henny, though. Flashbang comes out, doesn't do a whole lot. Henny has no armor whatsoever, and Shroud's going to clean it out. Another nice headshot to follow up on that long-range tap onto Zeus. And Cloud9 wins the replay of this pistol. This is why we need BO3s.
Look, Immortals accepted it.
Another thing that Blue prevented from happening.
They didn't want to do it again. They shouldn't have accepted the full game replay. Should have just restarted for round 2.
But yeah, this tap from Shroud onto Zeus, that is a very, very nice shot. And then just from here, he has all the advantages, even getting that kill right before the flash, thankfully. But nice play from Henny, just trying to fake out Shroud, going to the other bomb sites. But really just good mobility by Shroud to get in towards connector, to know where it's going. Henny kind of screwed up a little bit by trying to take that fight, breaking the vent open, so just giving away his position. But fast-paced tactic, armor, upgraded pistols. Flash comes out into drop. Zeus can't get the opening. Henny burns alive as well. Stewie now, he's going to have the angle. He gets blinded, but he still takes out one. Does he have his teammates there to back him up? No one's peeking that way. But still, Cloud9 is slowly whittling down this attack, and it's going to be the second round for Cloud9, barring anything miraculous out of Phelps.
Phelps is trying to hold on at this point, sneaking his way through the smoke a little bit here, hoping somebody crawls by him, but it won't be the case. In fact, a lot of them have fallen back, so he's getting a bit of an advantage here. Maybe he can net a kill with it, but unfortunately, he's going to be shot in the back by Automatic and just finished off by Cbble. So Cloud9 do end up cleaning up the round before anything else can be done by that last member of the Immortals.
And now it should be a little bit of less pressure onto Cloud9. It's not going to be any armor purchased by the Immortals guys, obviously. No plant in those first 2 rounds. Or actually, excuse me, they got a plant on the pistol round. But Shroud already up towards 5. But no plant in that second round. They're all sitting around mostly 3 players at 2,000 for the Immortal side, 2,200 on Zeus, 2,500 for Lucas. So next round, they'll obviously be able to force block, but Cloud9 should be able to build up some bank, prevent losses. You can see Shroud as well, not even buying an SMG, not even buying a rifle, just keeping the USP, making sure if he does happen to die, it's no big deal, not a whole lot of money invested for him. And Stewie's actually the one getting aggressive, going to find some bonus money with the SMG, and he does. He gets 2. He's got 2 more very close by to find, and he gets a 3rd. 1 more. Stewie just on a rampage at the moment, and even Henny brought down very low. He's just going to bail out.
Unfortunately, won't be getting very far with that, as again, Cloud9 sweep through these first 3 rounds on the replay. They will be able to close it down, taking essentially just minimal losses here, especially on that last round. Immortals not getting anything done at all, but now is the real test. Now is the time where they get the big guns into their hands, and hopefully we get to see some more of that Brazilian strategical genius coming out from Zeus. Wouldn't call it genius right off the bat, but
well, you did, so
hopefully
it's too late now.
Hopefully I don't make a fool of myself.
No op on the Immortal side on this T side, though, and Cbble does have his in hands. And he's going to take that over towards the B bomb site. At the moment, Immortals a little bit spread out. They're going to keep this one passive early on in the round, maybe seeing what Cloud9 is going to offer up if there's going to be any kind of aggression. Henny and Bolts watching far back over towards A. Both smokes used, one smoke was in mid, one smoke over in halls, so Bolts has now used his. Or no, excuse me. He's not used his, but there were 2 smokes down over there. There's now a 3rd one being deployed, so utility is being used very early on. And what's like we saw yesterday against Liquid, look at Cloud9. They still have 5 Molotovs. They still have a couple smokes in hand as well, so doing a very good job of saving these.
And again, the Immortals still trying to line up the take. With 2 smokes in hand, they will need to get themselves into the sites very soon here, as they, at the moment, are just playing for the default. Cloud9 still rotating around the map. They're kind of shuffling their players, but leaning in towards the B hit, which at the moment is where Immortals are favoring their own hit, but this could change at any second here as Phelps finally starts to crawl out into a little bit more of an aggressive area here on platform, and Stewie's just going to be allowed to jump up, and he has a smoke to cover him against Phelps, and he's just going to jump back up there and take down Phelps. Anyway, Lucas can do nothing to trade this out, and that's going to be a huge advantage that Stewie will gain over Immortals in this round.
Yeah, the aggression by Stewie Phelps, that's a well-known one-way smoke that he's using to try and get a pick off towards Sidewalk. But Stewie just doing all the aggressive plays that are entirely unexpected from Immortals, and he racks up 2 kills, and actually this is going to be a save. So in the 4th round, Immortals, they lose 2 with about 40 seconds left in the round, and without any utility, you can see they have no nades left. They just feel like they can't get back into the round, which is probably true. So Cloud9 holds on long enough for Immortals to just bow away from the fight.
Stewie again making the big plays to start Cloud9 off well here. And the attempt of Immortals to make a very slow push, slow methodical push out onto the B bomb site does not pay off. Mainly because, again, smokes cover up their teammates and they're not really able to recover after he gets so aggressive. And we can see the play now. I think he actually sees Stewie initially, but the smoke prevents him from doing anything. Loses his teammate, and then you can see as well the box jump. Stewie just dominates the final duel. Yeah,
I mean, he goes back to that one-way smoke right under the corner to try and either catch Stewie as he's falling back or catch that long-range player trying to support him. But he's just, I mean, the last thing he's thinking is that Stewie's going to turn around inside that smoke and just jump up on the box and go for more. So sick aggression. Now they've got to be careful. Skadoodle, he has the angle with the AWP, but he falls back. He knows the timing. He knows if they were going to pressure through those double doors quickly, a pop flash was going to come in any second. Doesn't want any risk of that happening. So bows out. 4 players over towards the B bomb site for this defense at the moment. Automatic once again just playing very passively in those A halls. He's a little bit pushed up, but he's not peeking.
Again, the slow, methodical play from Immortals is going to continue. Nothing else varying away from that at the beginning of this round. They do have Phelps, along with a teammate of his, boosted up a little bit here over towards the B bomb site to try and catch Stewie if he gets aggressive again up on this broken wall area. But he's just crouching under it at this point. He may go for it again, though. There's the flashbang, but the spray is obviously going to be holding him back. He won't try to risk it when he knows there's a presence here.
Yeah, and this is Immortals now. I mean, once again, they have no utility. Because of the save, 3 members couldn't buy anything. It's only Zeus with 2 flashbangs. They're not going to have smokes. They have obviously no Molotov as well. This means Skadoodle should have great opportunity to just pick players off. As long as his teammates stay alive just a little bit longer to delay them pushing on his location, he should be able to have a field day with his AWP with very little to obscure his vision.
Still waiting, and again, time getting lower and lower here. Immortals, they need to go in now, and they finally started it, going in for drop control, but this is handed over for free by Cloud9. Now they need to find these initial executes. Nothing striking first. These Molotovs holding him up, but Henny finds the frag. Now Skadoodle, though, but he's got to be trapped. However, take a look at Stewie as, again, just rips things apart with the help of Skadoodle inside of that cubby. Nobody from Immortals able to stop him, and it's another shutdown from C9.
5-0 now for Cloud9, and yeah, looking very, very good early on. Nice entrance from Henny, but you can see Skadoodle. It did look a little bit worrying because he was encroached upon from drop. That's a really awkward position, but he manages it well. Pushing towards the other side, but still staying out of the vision enough to stay alive. So again, Immortals forced just back onto pistols. Couple players with armor. They have a smoke, 2 flashes. Skadoodle here.
Whoa, what?
He hits him through the ledge there. So down to about 57 HP. Skadoodle's taking good damage as well. He's got to fall away, but luckily Immortals isn't pressuring anything very quick. It's a pretty slow-paced attack.
And again, nothing holding the same aggressive position that we had been seeing Stewie do for the past couple of rounds. Unfortunately, it's not going to work out so well for him.
He's got to be careful. We actually saw Nothing lose that battle yesterday to, I believe it was Nitro, in the same exact position where he gets caught. Just, you know, spraying into that smoke, and then his recoil's messed up, and he's not expecting someone to be that close. So he's got to be careful doing that because he's getting punished frequently by it.
And again, as the play from Immortals now shifts away from the B-bomb site after finding that initial kill, they're still going to keep Phelps in the area just to watch for flanks and also still to make some noise towards drop. The rest of the team is shifting over here towards an A-long hit. Not even really sending anybody in at this point into the mid-connector. Maybe we'll use Suicide in a few moments, but they're all entering in the A-halls.
Again, though, no flashbangs, no smoke. Skadoodle, I mean, he just has to, as long as he's in cover, he should be able to get 3 or 4 shots off before they can even get close to him. Barring any kind of crazy headshot from his deagle, Skadoodle should have free reign.
There we go, the push begins, but at this point, Cbble, as you said, free reign. Misses that second shot, however, so a little bit more room. However, Automatic's now here to help out, as is Shroud. 2 more kills for those guys, and Automatic even switching over to the Deagle now. No problems for him. It's just on bolts, and he won't find anything either. Another clean one from Cloud9 as they get past the eco from the Immortals side.
And now it's worrying for Immortals, because look at this money that's built up on the Cloud9 side. Automatic has 15K. Stewie's at 9.2 before he fills up on utility. I mean, even after that, 8,000. Shroud right under 8,000. Cbble at 9K. There's so much money in this defensive side of things. Immortals pretty much, bought down pretty low. Right around 1,000 for most of their players. They do have the full losing bonus, though, so they're going to be making a good amount of money every round, regardless of whether they win or lose. They do finally have an AWP on Henny. Looked like Stewie wanted to get a little bit aggressive, but just couldn't find the timing with it.
Start to fall back now after initially kind of probing over here towards the platform area. Helps getting hit a bit by a nade, but again, nothing really too crucial. He'll be able to sneak up now, but you can tell with the way he's looking around about this, being really cautious of players positioned over here on top of the staircase, as Cloud9 has been abusing this for most of the rounds up to this point. However, it's not going to be happening this time, and Phelps, at the moment, is actually gaining a lot of ground for free. The big task, though, is going to be getting past this staircase.
Ooh.
And he's almost headshot right there. I believe nothing around the corner. And there we go, he's going to push. Nothing completely unawares, but that spray is messy. And with that, nothing will be able to find the kill.
Yeah, that's a bit of a bummer. There's a kill that he should have had for sure. That would have been a great advantage for them. Even almost a couple seconds, it looked like he was about to land that shot onto Stewie, just jumping behind, but doesn't work out for Phelps playing with that smoke. A good Molotov by Cloud9 forces him to be aggressive into that back of that smoke. Just couldn't find anything from it. Bolts hoping his teammates on the other side of the map can do something so he can have an effective lurk. But it looks like he's going to be the one to try and find some kind of opening kill. He's been spotted out. Cbble out in the open. He can't land that kill either. And finally, Cbble adjusts perfectly, recovers nicely. And now the hit onto the B bomb site is in. There is one in the chicken coop, though, just biding his time. As long as nothing baits for him, it should be effective. He does fall, but the plant, oh, Lucas saves his life. Stewie cannot prevent the plant from going down, and it's a 3-on-3.
Brings Zeus down to 32 HP, however, very close to closing it out. And Cbble, at the same time, also going to be very, very low for Cloud9's end. Pretty even on the health pool side of this one, but Cloud9 have not let themselves with a lot to get back into this B bomb site. The smoke, their only piece of utility, has been used. It does block off Lucas, which will force him to relocate, but now Zeus is going to be tested. There's Cbble with the first pickup. Zeus responds down to 5 HP, and on the repeat, Automatic's going to trade him down. Henny, though, is safely falling back behind the big box. He's got a great angle, too. However, when Cbble peeks it, he's not ready for it, and Cbble just shuts it down. It'll be 7-0 for Cloud9 as they remain flawless against the Immortals.
Yeah, that looked like Henny was going to have that. I think that might have been one of those situations where we see a little bit more as the spectators through the edge of that smoke, because I mean, Henny just seemed like he just never pulled the trigger. Where there was a good like half second where you think he would have been able to get that kill. So a nice peek from Cbble, and maybe the edge of that smoke obscuring Henny just enough to give him the opportunity. But I mean, it's 7-0 for Cloud9 now. They're running away with this, and Immortals has to start, buying and trying to get onto the board. They need to get around at some point here, and they just can't wait to have an AWP back in Henny's hands.
Immortals still holding back here now, and as Stewie, again, goes for that aggressive peek. This time, armed with the AWP, though, as Cloud9 goes up to the double AWP setup. We'll see if he'll be able to find anything here. The Immortals definitely swarming around the area, so there'll be plenty of opportunities to do so, but that smoke not going to make the job very easy, especially as Phelps starts to creep up on the right side. Won't be able to catch that immediately, but he does hear it moving now. However, it doesn't see it that close, and it'll be caught off guard by Phelps pushing in as Immortals grab the first kill.
Again, we saw it last round. It seems like Stewie these past couple rounds has just been planning on going aggressive, and just it hasn't worked out for him either round. The first time he was forced back, this time he's punished entirely for it. So a man advantage for Immortals, and their response to this is saying, where does the rotation come in? And they believe it's going to be towards drop. They think they're going to have an easier time, but it's going to be a little bit more difficult than they expect. 3 players here. Automatic, he's blind at the moment. That's really unfortunate. Thankfully, Shroud and Nothing. Phelps has sneaked by, but Nothing's just being a god. What are you going to do here? Automatic finally chimes in with one. Zeus is the last one left. 15 HP and a 1-on-3. It's looking like an 8th round for Cloud9. They know exactly where he is, and it's just a matter of time.
Zeus was hunting for some lucky taps on either side of the statue against Nothing, but he's planted firmly now. No reason for him to peek aggressively. He is given free reign to move out around the big box area to try and find Nothing, but still can't grab a single shot. It's a perfect setup from Cloud9 that doesn't give Zeus any room to maneuver, and as soon as he peeks against one of them, as planned, he'll be a dead man going down to the ground. Cloud9 8-0 now. Money is out of control. As you can see, 14K and just under 10K on automatic now after they go for the buys. Whereas Immortals, obviously, without a single round being picked up, and throughout the course of this entire half, only finding 2 plants, their money is not in a great place either.
I mean, if you needed more evidence, I mean, if you just want to look at the frags as well, they have them up on the screen there. I mean, Henny, Bolts, Phelps, Lucas, and Zeus, none of them have 5 kills. I mean, this is, if you needed more evidence outside of the crazy amount of money that's been built up, there's just not enough frags going the Immortals' way. And it looks like Cbble, he has a good chance. He has the angle, spotted out the belt buckle, but couldn't hold the shot long enough. He's got a teammate. Automatic is going to come up the danger stairs and be with him, and they're actually playing this pretty aggressively. That's a terrible flashbang, but it's another terrible flashbang, but he does get away safely.
Automatic is going to be holding this position, and we discussed in the pregame just how impactful Automatic was in playing this position. So should we see Immortals decide to press forward out from this area, then he could definitely impact in a big way. However, this may be changing in a moment, as the Immortals have sent 2 of their players back outside of mid now, possibly heading into the B halls to group up with Phelps and Zeus.
Phelps is a great opportunity. It's all about timing, because Stewie has no idea he's at the box. He's double zoomed in on the entrance. Oh, and there it is. I think he just saw the head. That's unfortunate. Like I said, timing. Phelps peeks any time, and that's a nice shot by Stewie right through the box. Does the damage. Nothing gets the cleanup, but any of the 3 seconds previous to that Phelps was going to peek, it would have been a kill, and Shroud with red HP just lands a fantastic headshot. And what do you do here if you're Immortals? The timing's not going the way as we've seen. Now we're just seeing Shroud hit ridiculously quick headshots with low HP. Just there's not a whole lot that Immortals. I mean, they just, I mean, talk about a team coming out flat, maybe out of this break. We mentioned before the broadcast, this is their first match since DreamHack Summer. It's been a while, and they are looking like the break has hit them pretty hard.
Can't even really hit their entries. They're struggling just to get onto these bomb sites. Very rarely have we actually seen them get past platform here. As again, we see the replay. Initially, they spot Stewie, does good damage, but Stewie with a great shot. Knows he goes right behind the box, finds the area, shuts it down, and the teammate moves in to finish them off.
Stewie now with the AWP Shroud, or I mean, excuse me, Cbble is going to be aggressive over towards A halls, and that's an easy kill. Bolts walks right into it. Early man advantage for Cloud9. Shroud's going to be pressured, and that is dirty. Lands 3 quick kills for him. Shuts down drop zone. And Henny has the rifle, but he's got nothing to do with it.
Going to try to pick up at least 1 kill, do some damage here, but can't even do that. Another round where Cloud9 keeps all 5 of their players alive. And as I mentioned a couple rounds back, the money out of control. Right now, before we see everybody buy, we see 4 players at over $10,000, and it looks like it may stay that way, since most of these guys don't even have to reinvest with how quickly that last round went.
There are 13 kills total on the Immortal side of things, so not going well by any stretch of the imagination. They've had some opportunities that we've seen that have just been missed shots, so a little bit curious. Again, though, lining up in this 11th try at getting on the board. This is a little bit more of their default. And you can see Bolts working his way up halls. No one's there to pressure him whatsoever. He's doing this a little bit more aggressively, a little bit fast-paced, and if he went down danger stairs, he might be able to catch Automatic on a weird timing. But just the defense moves away. Bolts now, this is an opportunity. Timing, again, is just not with Immortals. Nothing going right.
As Automatic picks up the first kill of the round again, Immortals have to try and figure out how they can make up for this. They've tried so many different things after going down a man early in the round, but absolutely nothing has worked for them.
At a certain point, you just feel bad with those kind of plays that we would just watch Automatic as soon as Bolts looks away. Really unfortunate. Again, though, it looks like Stewie doesn't know that Phelps has gotten over to that side.
And nothing going to start firing away from his broken box position, but actually doesn't want to stick around for too long as he leaps away. He does spot Phelps, so they know he has a presence here now. Looking to flashbang him out. Doesn't really impact all that much, and he's caught off guard by that open drop position they've been employing for a lot of this half so far. So finally, it actually does bite Cloud9 in the back a little bit there as they finally find the trade down to a 4-on-4, but only 30 seconds left. And again, they're so slow, they don't want to push out. Shroud styling in the meantime, picked up 2 kills. There's Stewie doing work with the op, shutting out Phelps. Henny's the last one, and there's nothing to do with 20 seconds left. He's in a 1-on-4. He's not even close to the site. It's better to just fall back and T-spawn and save.
Yeah, this AWP on Henny just hasn't been impactful whatsoever. Shroud's having a monstrous game, 14-3 for him. Everyone's ratios are going to look pretty nice because, like we said, there's just not very many kills going out to the Immortal side of things. I mean, even that nothing pickoff, that was actually pretty nice by Immortals. That defense would have been fine for Cloud9, but they just didn't know Phelps was there. So when nothing gets surprised by it, he's trying to fall back to a new position, and they're not prepared for, they're not watching drop the exact same way that they should have been to cover him to fall back in that sense. But still, this Cloud9 defense I can't tell if it's the Cloud9 defense looking great or the Immortals offense. Just maybe it's a little bit of both. But at the moment, it just seems, even if there's fantastic tactics, the players in Cloud9 are just on a hot streak right now and aren't going to be missing too many shots.
Another buyout again, but take a look at Skadoodles. Walks right up to the mid connector, punishing bolts. Another gun goes down to the ground for the Immortals side. Despite the fact they have these guns, it doesn't seem to mean a whole lot for these players. Lucas barges his way into the mid connector, finally getting some ground, but all right, this should be an area that you easily take. And Skadoodle, what was that?
Tags him.
Tags him for 53 HP through the door. Nicely played.
I mean, this is another big thing that Immortals, their tactics. I mean, Phelps largely, it's been mostly towards B platform, but he's been this solo player that they're trying to abuse the rotations. When they're putting pressure on A, they're hoping some mobility of this Cloud9 defense. Phelps is going to have an opportunity and nothing there. Not quite sure what he's thinking with his knife out. That's a little bit worrying. Down into a 4-on-4. The attack is still going to be coming from A. Zeus is working his way up, and he's in danger stairs. They're working their way up halls. Skadoodle's going to transfer to the back of the bomb site, though, so he's got range with this AWP. And again, I mean, we talked about this early on in the half. There's no utility on the Immortal side, so there's no flashbangs. There's no smokes to block him off. His own real disadvantage is the angle he's playing at because he's susceptible to so many different choke points. Recovers, though, and he still hasn't been punished. Still alive, and all he has to do is wait for his teammates.
They're on the way. Henny looking for the shot, but you're far too late to be able to find that trade unless he directly peeks you, which he's got no reason to do that. His teammate's covering all the other angles. He's already lost Lucas, and now he's the only one left alive here. As he moves in, picks up the first shot, looking for more through the panels, but it's automatic. Wins with way more bullets than he has. Cloud9 will continue against Immortals at this point. Still 0 rounds on the board for these guys.
Yeah, nice shot by Cbble. He's looked for that shot a couple times, and just nothing's been given to him early enough, and then he's got to respect that pop flash for that smoke. And then, I mean, these are the things, this late round when they're trying to execute out of this bomb site with no nades whatsoever. I mean, that's just too easy for a guy like Skadoodle, and especially if you're not going to punish him. He was on top of the, he was on top of that roof, and like he was just exposed to everything at that A bomb site, and still they couldn't find a way. This is going to be faster though. This is when you say nothing's worked, boys. Let's rush B, see what comes of it. Lucas is blind, and he's shooting at nothing. Skadoodle alive in the bomb site does get taken out by Zeus, but there's nothing. Again, holding down the fort at the rock. Excuse me, that was Stewie originally, not Skadoodle, but he is now rotated over. It's down into a 2-on-2.
And Skadoodle going to try to hold this off. Is he aware, though, the other player still hanging out over here around the drop area, trying to be a bit cautious about it, so just know there is a presence there. Takes a wild shot, doesn't work out, however, automatic moves in for the kill. Down to just 1 now, and again, it's on Henny, but he cannot get past Skadoodle. Misses that first shot, but the second is a direct connection.
I got into the bomb site this time. They at least smelled the opportunity. This is a nice quick shot by Skadoodle there at the end. Good recovery from Cloud9. They lost a couple of those early players, but 13-0. I mean, even if with these last 2 rounds, you just know it's not enough for Immortals. Should mention, after a roster change, the first match that that SK played when they were Luminosity was at a DreamHack event, and they got 16-0'd as well. So if that occurs, it won't now because I just mentioned it, but if it does,
The prophecy.
they're in a the Brazilian prophecy. We will rise from the ashes of 16-0.
So immediately, we do actually see again, this is like the 3rd round in a row almost that this sort of open door policy and drop that Cloud9 has had has led to them losing a player. Now, they've always been able to recover, so it hasn't led to too many bad things yet, but it does allow the potential for a much easier entry on the Immortals side in terms of getting into that B bomb site.
Some gun swappage. The AK-47 in Zeus's hands, maybe so we can be a little bit more versatile and drop. Now that they've gotten that kill, they go back towards that A bomb site. One is automatic going to see this. And there's timing finally working out in the favor of Bolts and Immortals. Nice shot, but still, I mean, no utility. So when these rotations come in, Skadoodle can do something with this op. He misses that first shot, but even when they get up towards balcony, they have a chance here to peek out in various ways. 2 AWPs as well. Phelps gets the shot onto Stewie, though. Shroud's at very low HP. And Skadoodle is just holding an angle, so it is going to be all on Shroud and Bolts with the off angle on this ramp. This should be the first round for Immortals.
Shroud again just tapping away, finds a free op onto the ground, but there is nothing from that angle. And Skadoodle doesn't really seem too keen either on being able to find anything within this bomb site. Phelps already punishing 1. Skadoodle does catch the trade to an overexposed player, and that turnaround, all of a sudden, we go into a 1v1. Skadoodle with a kit in hand, too. He's got a bit of time to play with, and with the CZ, unfortunately, he cannot clutch out the round, but very close indeed. And with that, the prophecy is dead.
Oh my word, that second shot by Skadoodle. 16-2 now for Skadoodle, but this is outrageous. This just is the kind of day Immortals is having. Poor Bolts. And you can, I mean, when he's going into the site with the CZ, it's almost like he's thinking, how did I hit that second shot? I don't know, and just couldn't control the CZ. It's going to be fast-paced from Immortals this round. Automatic waiting for that pop flash. Gets the first kill. They're still in the smoke. They haven't gotten out of it. Him and Skedoodle are just going to line them all up. Bolt's down to 17. It's a nice two-man defense in mid, played perfectly by Automatic and Skedoodle.
There's drop again, though, punishing Cloud9. And now, this is a 1v3 lined up, but no bomb control. He's basically got to go out and try to frag this in a 1v3, but can't find a single one of them. Automatic takes it down. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, it will be an absolutely astounding half for Cloud9. So we'll be right back in just a moment with the second half.
He's going to get the one kill in that bomb coming onto the side. FNX has to stay up. He gets the triple FNX. Oh my god, what a way to win that round. They don't have a smoke, so this ult is still.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, TheScore Esports.com, Mountain Dew, and ESEA.
And welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting back into this match at any moment here now, as we will be jumping into the second half between Cloud9 and Immortals. Cloud9 obviously with a very big start to things. It does not leave a lot of room for the Immortals to round a comeback. I believe you would agree with that, Moses.
Yeah, no, it does not leave a lot of opportunity for Immortals to get into anything. This was a beatdown, which is pretty crazy. Where's the Immortals gaming house?
I think it's here in LA.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I don't know where, but
because Cloud9, I mean, their pings is pretty. It's pretty nice for an online match. I wouldn't mind that.
Cloud9 got like a crazy line last night here, like a gigabit line or something like that.
Just something sick.
I didn't even know you could get those in LA.
Okay. Yeah,
I gotta find out more about that.
Yeah, right. Get me one of those. Yeah, but that was a very rough first half, and I mean it's hard to actually talk about what Immortals did strategically, because I know that was one big thing that everyone's looking for now that Zeus is on this team. One, I don't think he's had the amount of time needed to really change too much, to really get too much going, but also just because it just seemed like their shots just weren't hitting. These players just looked a little bit rusty. They weren't getting the kills that you'd normally see them get, and because of that, no matter what tactic you run, if you're only going to have 13 kills total 10 rounds into a match, nothing's going to go well.
All right, guys, well, we are going live now into the pistol round for the second half, so let's jump back into the game and take a look at things. Immortals, if they can win this pistol, there is a small chance that they can hold on at least for a couple of more rounds to attempt to run a comeback. But if not, if Cloud9 takes it, well, the game is virtually over, if not over already.
And actually, I mean, this is look at Immortals. 3 players with utility instead of armor. Zeus with 2 flashes and Kit. Lucas with a 5-7, and he had a nade. And Henny as well with full nades. So I mean, the aim punch is going to be brutal with these Glocks if they find that opportunity. This 5-7, Lucas is playing like Hiko. He's playing with a 5-7 towards drop zone. A lot of bullets there. You can be very mobile. You can shoot very quickly, and it has the clip to help you survive multiple players coming at you. This looks like it's going to be a split towards the A-bomb site for Cloud9. That pressure at the A-bomb site first is to pull a rotation away. There's that 5-7 going to work. Nice find from Lucas. Stewie's got to do something. He does find that kill. Automatic with one more. All of a sudden, this A-bomb site is looking a little bit more open. They've got Zeus and Balcony bolts in the back of the bomb site.
And again, now as they try to pressure back in here, Automatic moves into the shed, but Zeus doing way more damage onto him. Not only this, but Bolt's picking up a kill that will be traded out by Shroud. And it falls mainly to Zeus now. Phelps is not going to be of any help as Stewie just walks right out, grabs the headshot, takes him down. So Zeus, what can you do? Can you hold this off? You still can clutch this considering how low Stewie and Automatic are at this point, but nope. Just going to walk out into the open. Stewie's going to take him down, and Cloud9 with just a single pistol round get themselves on the match point.
Yep, and it's going to be a bye here in the second round, obviously. Cloud9 on match point. It's going to be a bye every single round. Immortals are going to have to win 14 straight, but this is just now at a point where Cloud9, you can even see them upgrading going straight to 2 AK-47s. They still have some SMGs, which is maybe for the utility, because they know that it's got to be armor out for the Immortal side. Maybe they want to do something fast and aggressive. Nothing's going to be over towards the B bomb site other than that 4-man death squad for Cloud9 over towards A, and nothing's going to get 1 kill. He's going to drop down. He's going to come to split onto this A bomb site. He's going to start seeing it's clear. And unfortunately, he's going to hold off these rotations, and he gets 1 more. That's very nicely done. And onto Zeus. Immortals just getting wiped off the map.
Well, they do find some semblance of hope with these 2 pickups, but already down to a 3-on-2. They have a player positioned over here on long, which if Henny can find this kill against Automatic, he has some hope of finding his way back into the site, but not a great start. And Automatic even takes him down. Phelps just leaping right out. Nothing to lose at this point. Brings Automatic low. Oh my goodness, look at Skedoodle trying to jump up on top of the APC. Brings him down to a single health point, but now Phelps looking for the frag, and he finds it. So with that and a single health point, Phelps pulls off a 4K on the second round force-up, and somehow will keep the Immortals into this map.
Yeah, that's just Cloud9 having a little bit of fun. Playing a little bit loose here at the end of this match. Obviously, Skedoodle jumping from the rooftop onto the top of the car is not an intelligent play whatsoever. So 2-15. Cloud9 allows the victory to be delayed a little bit longer. They're more than likely going to save and just buy into the next one. Regardless, though, I mean, this is a very tall task for Immortals ahead of them. 13 rounds straight they would have to do to even force overtime, not even to win.
And we can see now for the Cloud9 side, obviously no rush in getting themselves back onto a bye, although we are going to see a pretty direct play, but I think the Immortal side has it read pretty well. Stewie's going to leap back downstairs. They didn't actually see Zeus around the corner, so him and Lucas are going to punish things over here on drop. Shroud finds one and actually moves back in there to find another one, but as they try to push platform, they're going to lose the bomb, and everything will fall into the hands of Shroud, who's found no additional upgrades from these players that they've taken down on the Immortal side. Shroud tries to sneak in, but it doesn't go very well, and Phelps will finish things off with his own pistol.
But another buy coming out for the Cloud9 side. AK-47s, they're not going to have an AWP in Skedoodle's hands. Stewie as well. If he goes for an AK, he's not going to have any nades. Unless he wants a decoy. Highly doubtful. Either way, shotgun still on Lucas, Famas on Henny, 3 M4s next to that. They have a couple kits. They've got full utility as well. So a very solid buy for both sides. But a very spread out default initially for Cloud9. Not going anywhere too quickly. Stewie and Automatic going to be over towards A. Skedoodle's down there as well. 2 players over towards B. Shroud and nothing. Just seeing if there's any aggression, any pushes. And for now, it's just a stalemate.
Need to grab at least 1 kill here to start things off. The rest of Cloud9 are holding it passively, but Immortals aren't really doing anything so aggressive either. For the most part, just holding on to their angles. But because of the fact that they have not pressed out on a platform, they did decide to push their own players there on the Immortal side, which ended up fighting them back pretty badly. Zeus now down at 8 HP because of his position after they tried to smoke it off and get themselves set up aggressively. Didn't really work out. Not only this, but they are going to see one of their own guys. Henny was initially crunched back over in the suicide room, but he has since fallen away from this and has got a better position. And look at that from Stewie. Wraps right out, finds Henny, takes him down to start off the round, but oh no, the nade is not going to allow him to survive for much longer after that first kill.
On Bolts, he gets caught off guard, but some missed shots. He recovers in time, and I mean, Shroud just jumping up. Cloud9 seem to be a little bit overconfident with the lead they have, and they've got to be careful because this could slip away. We have seen these things happen. Still not even a thought in their mind that it's possible as it's 3-15, but nothing to try and make his way into the bomb site. Completely blind out in the open, very low HP, and that's a shotgun from range through the door as well.
And a headshot.
And a headshot.
Bit ridiculous.
I mean, Cloud9 is someone on this is where you want. I mean, this is where, you know, having your young player like Stewie as the in-game leader, this is where you just need to just be like, your in-game leader just says, all right, guys, button down. Let's just get this over with. Let's not let this prolong. Let's not even risk it. Not even let it be an opportunity. Let's just close the door, get on to the next map. But if they're going to play like loose like this, it is going to give the opportunity for Immortals to make some kind of a massive comeback.
So for now, Cloud9 again, considering they're not under any pressure with the scoreline just yet, onto an eco round they'll go. Investing what they can, which is not going to be that much. Mainly just upgraded pistols, Tech 9s for a few of them, but P250s for the most, and a couple smokes to try and make a push over to the A bomb site. Immortals have decided to go for a stack of their own, this time though over to the B bomb site, which means if Henny drops first and they can deny presence for the rest of these guys, then, well, it's going to be a great start to the round for Cloud9, and that's exactly what they do. taking Henny down. They blocked off a lot of the doorways. Now Bolts did rotate pretty quickly, so he has the angle to try and turn this back under his own team's favor. By picking up that first kill on Stewie, he started the process, but now they've actually got to get into the site, and the smoke is not helping them out.
What a way to lose if they were to do it on this round. That would be really unfortunate. Nothing with the AWP. He's got a good angle for it as well. Misses the shot onto Phelps, though, but there is a player right around the edge of that smoke. It's automatic. He does lose that battle. There's enough damage for Shroud to bail him out, and Shroud wins a range battle with an AK-47. He salvages, and this is where nothing is going to be effective, and Cloud9's pulling this back into their favor, but nothing's not an opera, obviously. Should probably never have that gun again. Cbble, again, jumping up onto the roof, is going to give away the one-on-one. Zeus with 3 kills. And a good retake, but a lot of damage done to the Immortals side.
And obviously can't really afford to try and take that yet, but we can see here Zeus just closing out the round once again. Cbble does go a bit over-aggressively. We're going to try to wrap around and just waste a bit of time, but not to be done in this case. Still with a 10-round lead, but Immortals are making a show of things.
All bought out to this round, so even if they win, I mean, this is the thing. Cloud9, that one round they do with just the pistols there, where they get those 4 kills, that's a big help for them. Even if, I mean, they can afford to lose those rounds, but if they're getting 3 to 4 kills every single round, then the economy for Immortals is eventually just going to grind away. They have it at a very close situation where it's almost quite broken, and another round with 4 kills, even in losing for Cloud9, is probably a victory, because, I mean, it's going to limit what Immortals can bring into the next round, limit the opportunity for any kind of a comeback.
I mean, we can already see most of what Immortals brought up utility-wise is being used. They have a single smoke now after Henny just threw that one out over towards A long.
And it's very early in the round. There's a minute and 15 left. There's only 1 smoke on the Immortal side, so either they're using it too quickly or they just didn't come into it with enough, and that just goes right back to that strained economy. Shroud finds one, I'm assuming right through the smoke.
Last smoke was also just tossed back up over here on B platform too, so now no smokes, only flashbangs to hold off the entire hit from Cloud9, and I don't really think Cloud9 has used anything, maybe a flashbang or two, but nothing big being used by the T side yet. So they now try to sort of set themselves up in a default, but I mean, it's open season, so long as they can find a kill to get their way into a site, even with this man-up advantage, they have an easy choice as far as where they want to take this bomb towards.
Yeah, kill onto Phelps by Shroud was directly through the smoke. Really weird angle, he cannot be happy about that one, but a good peek from Lucas. Gets nothing, a nice trade again, though, by Shroud, having himself a very, very good game. Zeus is isolated all alone on this B bomb site, and Bolts and Henny are putting a lot of faith in him. They're both staying over at A, and it's the right decision as Cbble rotates back. Shroud coming down. That's the 3rd kill for him in this round. Now they're going to feel like they have to start rotating, but they rotate right into the push up this ramp. It's all on Bolts. They probably don't know he's here. He's been spotted out now. Cbble does fall, but there it is, 16-5, I believe.
Yes, and that will close out our first match of the day, guys, with Cloud9 taking the victory over the Immortals. Not the best showing for their first match, but we still have 1 more map to go where maybe they'll be able to warm up a little bit better here and show us a better showing on the next map.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, it's just there's a lot of talent on that Immortals roster that just didn't get any kills in that first half. That's kind of the big thing. So, I mean, show us anything. Show us some of the kills, and we can't even tell if the tactics are going to work if you're not killing anything. So, hopefully that next map they can regroup. Zeus has some word with them, and they bring it in the next one.
All right, Tom, that was your first preview of the Brazilian CS scene. Not the best one, but what were your thoughts?
Well, they just couldn't get it going after the restart. I mean, they did originally win that first pistol round, but then the technical difficulties, and they just weren't able to recover. And Cbble and Shroud just showing up, and that's what's kind of scary is C9 just looking so dominant. They can just individually step it up whenever they need it, and it's looking like they are going to possibly be the one team to potentially take on SK for that #1 spot here in North America. But to break down the CT side of things, we got Ryu over at the Telestrator. Ryu, take it away.
Thanks, Tom. Yeah, I mean, there's not a ton that we can really take away to break down. It's super deep, so we're going to take a quick look at our 5-day forecast. I'm kidding. What we're going to take a quick look at is how Cloud9 was able to hold control of Long A. So you're not going to see any kills here, but if you look at the clock, it's pretty early in the round. This is one of the only rounds, we flip it back over here to the board. This is one of the only rounds that there was really pressure being applied early at A halls, and they never were able to really get control of it. So what happens in this particular round that we just looked at, where we have Cbble taking the peak, he spots somebody coming early, and he's going to fall off. What they were doing and what we saw Automatic do effectively yesterday is he would either smoke right there or smoke a little bit further back on the choke point. In this particular example, because Cbble was taking the peak at long, he had Automatic here supporting. We saw a couple bad flashbangs that Cbble tried to throw, but using really good utility. They kept their utility up pretty late in this overall. But on this round, they got some early pressure. They did a good job of just kind of fighting it off. And because they never actually had to leave that area of the map, What actually happens is the Ts are actually going to rotate back. So they make a little bit of presence here, and then they kind of head back towards B. No rotates whatsoever happen from bomb site B over to A. And the way that Cloud9 tends to hold bomb site B is they give drop control, which we saw over and over, and they like to play pretty aggressive towards the platform. So what happened in this particular round, I think it was Phelps who did a pretty good job on platform, gets to B, calls like, hey guys, I'm lurking out at bomb site B, should be able to sneak, maybe get a kill. The timing didn't really work out for him, and because they knew there was no pressure coming from A halls, the rotates didn't have to move, and on a map like Cobblestone, rotates are extremely important CT side. Cloud9 seems to have a really, really good read on how to do it. We saw it yesterday on a very good performance from Automatic. We saw it again just now. That's a crazy good half, 14-1.
Yeah, I mean, I think the other team should be looking at this and saying, we want to avoid this map when it comes to facing C9. They're looking extremely dominant. We didn't even get to see what they were going to do from the T side because they looked so damn strong. So, again, is there anything that you can, possibly do to counter that? Or do you just say, as Immortals, all right, whatever, let's just look towards the next map on Overpass?
Yeah, I think they fell in a little bit of the same trap we saw from Liquid yesterday. Their pacing was extremely slow for almost every single round except for, I think, the last two, where they actually had a couple rounds at the very end where it was like a 2v2 at the bomb site B where they put early pressure. Cloud9 is just going to hold on to their utility until they face anybody at halls or at drop or at platform. And because that was literally, I think, the fastest they had ever gone to halls, it was a minute 20 into the rounds, 35 seconds, 30 seconds into the round. They actually just made noise and ran away. They never actually took fights. They never challenged it. Got to get control of A halls because once you do that, it changes the way that A gets played. You usually pull a rotator over and it lets B, that the hits at B be more effective. And we didn't see that adjustment get made from Immortals today.
All right, guys. Well, go to the best place for news and stats. That's the Score Esports. If you guys are into stats like I am all about it. I, technically was considered a stat for most of my career. So go ahead, take out your phone, go up to the iOS App Store, or just go to Google Play App Store as well. Check it out, download it, and we'll be back with the next map. That's going to be on Overpass. C9 going up against Immortals. Don't go anywhere.